None of us enjoys finding ourselves involved in a toxic situation. The truth is that if you're a lady leveling up her life, you will need to recognize these toxic situations quickly and make your exit elegantly without looking back. To be honest, it's not always easy to do so, which could be for a number of reasons and depends on the situation. Maybe it's a situation at work, maybe it is a situation at home, or even in a romantic relationship. Hopefully, it's not a toxic situation that is life-threatening. I think that unfortunately, we have seen countless examples of the consequences that happen when we choose to prolong being in a toxic situation. So let's discuss today how to cut those ties elegantly. Some may refer to this as not burning any bridges, but truth be told, you may need to mentally burn those bridges because you won't ever be going back. If you're new here, my name is Leisha and I have been documenting my personal leveling up journey. I have been working on becoming more elegant, more feminine, and more affluent as a woman. I typically upload every Sunday, so if you would like to join along in my journey, please go ahead and subscribe. Now ladies, I'm approaching today's topic based on many of my own personal experiences from the past and sharing some of my thoughts with you that I have found effective in elegantly cutting ties, and also sharing some things not to do that I have done in the past which only made things worse. I also share this video with the caveat that you're not in a life-threatening, dangerously toxic situation. Of course, if you find yourselves involved in a situation like that, cut ties immediately and run as far away as you can. The first tip that I would share with you is based on a scenario. So let's say that you have a roommate who brings a lot of negativity to your living experience and has made your home feel like a completely toxic environment. Now, please don't hesitate to do something about this type of situation, especially if it's just because you are afraid that you won't be able to afford to move out if it comes to that, or that by doing something about the situation, you may actually make matters worse. It's best to have confidence no matter what you do and ultimately have a direct conversation in this situation. Make sure that you have a very polite but assertive demeanor in your tone and leave emotions out of it. It is a big no-no to address these types of situations via text message or a quickly written email, as I find that a lot of people can misconstrue words or tone across just a text. It's always best to initially, when you first become aware of the situation, try to have a conversation to address it face to face. Perhaps this is a roommate that you might see at your job, or you might run into them at school, and you don't want to create more drama or complicate the situation any further, even if you've already made it up in your mind that moving out or exiting the situation is your final decision. In my opinion, the best thing to do here is to initially have a conversation, again, face to face. Bring up some points that you can make changes in order to make the situation a little bit better for everyone. And then start to address some things that you would like to see the other person contribute as well to that process. I think that you can give this a 2-week deadline. You can give however much time you think you need, and whatever you are feeling is the limit. But do set a deadline for you to see improvements, and then make an agreement with that person to readdress the situation at that point. If things have not changed by then, you have to stick to your boundary of going ahead and taking action XYZ that you've already decided on, which may be completely exiting the relationship or the situation if it comes to that. Again, as long as the situation is not abusive, you're in no physical danger, I think that it's important to have that face-to-face conversation and try to give a little bit and see where you can both meet in the middle. Another big no-no that I see, which is not elegant at all in toxic situations, is to take on an attitude of passive aggressiveness. This usually just makes matters 100 times worse than they already are. So again, the more elegant thing to do is to address it directly. Also, be very careful with who you discuss the situation with, who might be close to your circle, if with the people that are involved in the situation. You don't want to, again, further complicate the situation by being labeled as someone who's gossiping about what's going on. Make sure that you are not having the same conversation over and over. Again, it's important to set that deadline for you to see results or see a change, and then just move on. Remember, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over without seeing any results. So here's another type of toxic situation that I'll illustrate how to make an exit elegantly with. And this is something, unfortunately, that I see happens too often with women who have a career or are in the workforce in general. And that is being in a situation where you are not being valued for your contribution or your work. Each day that you're showing up to your job and feeling like this, it can further run you into the ground and further create a pattern of negativity in your life. Again, that toxicity will just completely rot you away. In this situation, it's best to take on a mindset of growth. Try to avoid any negative thoughts about yourself and make an exit plan that you feel confident in. Confidence, again, here is very key. What I mean by that is put a plan together to skill up, use any spare time or create some spare time in your life where you can start to add to your skills, because that is going to grow your confidence in making sure that you believe in yourself and have other opportunities outside of this toxic work environment or this environment where you feel undervalued. Again, you can also make a case or have a direct conversation with management about the contributions that you're making. And if, again, you set that deadline and there's no changes, take those skills that you've built and move on to better opportunities. I choose to believe often that there's always something better out there. The best is yet to come. Don't limit yourself with the mindset that there's nothing available. There's no way you'll find a better job. There's no way that you can start over, for example. These are very toxic thoughts to yourself that are able to be broken. So again, take a moment and address your mindset in these toxic situations where you feel undervalued. How can you further prove your value so that you can be respected, or just completely move on without burning any bridges and chalking it up to I had a better job opportunity? So one last scenario that I would like to cover, which I know is very common here in the leveling up community, and I've had to go through this multiple times in my life, and that is what to do when a past relationship, or a current relationship in this case, whether it is a friendship or a romantic relationship, has become toxic to your progress of leveling up, and this person or these people are holding you back. It's not elegant at all to ghost people like this, especially if you have years of friendship behind the relationship. And I don't think it's elegant to ghost anyone in general. I think you should always try to, again, address the situation somehow in a very polite and confident manner. I think it's wise to try and set up some intentional time to have a conversation about some exciting new endeavors that you are going to be pursuing, some new opportunities that are coming your way, and taking some time to yourself and expressing that you don't mean anything negative to this person by that. Now, this is with the caveat that the person in this situation is not being overly rude to you. They are not being demeaning towards you. And in that case, I feel like you do have the valid point of calling them out on it in a very polite way, and again, assertive way, and explaining that you will be moving on because you have to find a better situation in your life. Even in the case of a romantic relationship, especially if it's someone that you have been in a true serious relationship with, try to have these conversations face to face, even if they're being rude to you in the moment and you've already made up your mind that you are for sure done. Explain your valid points of why you are moving on, and stand up for yourself a little bit. And of course, do not go back to this person. Do not allow these people to resurface into your life once you have, of course, become the bright and successful shining lady that you are. So in closing, I would like to say that you always need to build an awareness of these toxic situations before they get too far in your life, especially as a lady who is working on leveling up. I think we all know by now that the people you surround yourself with, the environment you are in, that really has a huge impact on your progress and your ability to achieve the goals that you are going after. One of the best things that I ever did was to strive to place myself into a high vibe environment and surround myself with people who had very similar goals to me. That way we were able to become more productive at achieving our goals together. Thank you so much for watching this video. I wanted to say that if you enjoyed this conversation, please give it a thumbs up so that I know that you want to see more conversations like this on my channel and from my personal leveling up journey. I also invite you to comment down below any tips that you have that would be helpful to the other ladies who are watching this, and share this video with a friend if you found it insightful or helpful. I also invite you to catch up on one of these recent videos from my channel if you have not already, and in that case, I will see you next time. Bye.